Good morning and thanks for staying. You're still watching Rush Hour here on DNTM Kofi Oponoche. And it's an early Monday morning and we have to talk some sports because yesterday we had quite an interesting match. Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. And a sad story as well where the world has lost a legend, a basketball legend, Kobe Bryant. So with me in the studio this morning we have the director of
Operations.
The director of operations, yes, at excuse me,
Center 14 Sports
Center 14 Sports and Entertainment, in the person of Willem
Coleman.
Coleman. He's Willem Coleman, so he's with me in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited to have you. Just that I saw a publication that uh, a top dog of your team, Basa, is saying that you are in a confused state. I don't know, disorganized, confused state. Do you think so?
I agree with that. The thing is, the coach, the previous coach, Ernesto Valverde, it's true he's won 2 league titles, but then the standard of play hasn't been the Barca way. I would have thought that, even though he won the league title last season, at the end of the season, considering how he capitulated in both the Copa del Rey and the Champions League, and the Champions League for the second season running, I would have thought that, the board would have told him, I think it's time to step aside for a new direction for us to take a new direction. But they waited, they kept him on, and things just kept on going from bad to worse, and they had to make a change. I personally blame the board, but at the end of the day, the change has been made. You can't also really blame the current coach for how things have gone because he has to instill a new philosophy into the team, and he didn't have enough time. They're not his players, and he didn't take them through preseason, so it may take some time. So let's see how that goes.
So if you have a different view of it, you can send your comment come in. But this is a big Barca fan in the country saying this. Yes, he concurred. The team is a bit disorganized and currently confused. But this morning, it's a sad story that yesterday we all observed the death of Kobe Bryant and the daughter. And 7 other people, so 9 people on the flight, total, and then bent, and then even their remains we've not been able to retrieve them yet. What do you think? I mean, Kobe, age 41.
41, yeah. Such a young life, but he made such an impact on the world. In his sport, he was totally dedicated to his sport. He did things outside of sports. His persona transcended not only basketball, but sports in general, because he was such a good writer. He was a martial artist. He was an investor. He did a lot of things, and he was trying to, train children to become basketball players. His daughter, the one he passed away with, was a huge basketball fan, was actually playing, and I don't know, but I don't know if it's true, but then I heard that he was actually on his way to the basketball center to train with his daughter when all this happened. And so like you're saying, the world, and not just the sport of basketball, has lost a huge icon.
Legend.
And it's
playing
sad.
all his 20 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, and it's sad, but we just leave everything to the Almighty.
May his soul rest in peace, and the Mrs. Bryant too.
Yes,
be strong. Be strong.
And the other kids as well.
And anybody who is a basketball fan, or you want to go into basketball, you so much love the sports, and you think that you can be a big basketball player in future, I would advise that you go read about Kobe Bryant, because he is the man. He is the man. If you look at his biography, he's achieved a lot and contributed a lot to the sport. Now, this morning, let's look at the Ghana Premier League. Now, 6
match days.
6 matches so far. Match day 6. What do you think? Are we doing well?
On an aesthetic level, on a corporate level, it could be better. But in terms of the excitement, it's you can't ask for more. Yesterday was like the pinnacle of how football can be. It was a sold-out stadium. The quality of play was good. There was generally no hooliganism, apart from a few lawless fans who started throwing some objects onto the pitch. But that was dealt with really quickly. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I make sure that almost every weekend I go to the stadium to watch a game myself, because the thing is, if we don't go and watch it, who do you expect to make it great
Exactly.
the way it should be, you know? So yeah, I guess on that level it's been good.
So you think so far the league has been good?
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
let's talk about yesterday's match. Accra Suffolk. I mean, it was a very big match, a
Yes, it
crucial
was.
match in the country.
Yeah, the biggest
And
match
then,
in Ghana.
The 12 minutes, Kotoko net.
Against the run of play.
Yes. And 67th minute,
Then Hearts
Hearts.
equalized.
And then 90th
90th
minute,
they
penalty.
got a penalty.
And Keita.
Yes, someone even said that they should cancel the results because it's the Ghana Premier League, and so they shouldn't let a Guinean decide the match for us. But that was just meant to be a joke. But yeah, I guess that, you know, if things continue this way, then the Bring Back the Love campaign will truly bear fruit. We need clubs like Hearts and Kotoko to up their game a bit, because even with the way the clubs are run and the way things are, if you look at a team like Legon Cities, you look at a team like Dreams FC and the kind of innovations they are bringing, if teams like Hearts and Kotoko bring that to the way they run the club, then it will automatically propel the Ghana Premier League to a level where more and more people, even I dare say people outside Ghana,
across the globe would follow.
Yeah,
Ghana
let's
Premier
start
League.
with Africa, but then again, even across the globe, because there are lots of Ghanaians outside Ghana who are interested in the Premier League and who do want to know what goes on. And so yeah, maybe I like this. I've made a commitment now to watch local football over foreign football when there's football. Like yesterday, like this, I think there was some FA Cup games, there were some La Liga games, but I was more interested in the Hearts and Kotoko, you know, to follow what goes on there. So yeah, it's just it's systematic, and it's a step-by-step thing. We just need to take things one step at a time, and then eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, I think this is what people should emulate. Make a commitment to be able to follow Ghana football.
I'm a huge Barca fan. I'm a huge Barca fan. But
when we come to Ghana, which club?
Oh, the greatest club in Ghana, Accra Great Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Only that day.
You think they are the
greatest?
No,
they are the greatest. It's just that it hasn't manifested yet. But don't worry,
they will come.
Definitely.
All right. So, what do you think the Premier League is lacking?
Aesthetics. Okay. You know, when you're watching a game on TV, you want it should be pleasing to the eye. If you watch, I won't even go to Europe. Okay. If you watch North Africa, you know, the way the pitch is laid out, the way the advertisements are run, the way the stadium looks, it's appealing to the eye. You know, the quality of the broadcast itself. These are the things that are lacking. I guess also maybe we need to work on our security, because, you know, you want it to become a family event. How do you expect me to bring my family to the stadium if I'm not sure that there's not an adequate security? When hooligans start misbehaving, what do I do? How do I protect my family? So these are some of the things that needs attention, in my view. And even when it comes to aesthetics, once again, some of the clubs, the way they are kitted, it's not the best. It's not the best. But this season has been an improvement. Apart from one or two teams that I have not been too pleased with, which I'll not mention, most of the teams have come up with new kits which look good. And, you know, so I think that right now they probably need to work on getting shirt sponsors, because most of the teams do not have shirt sponsors, which funds with which they could use to, like, you know, shore up their teams, invest into other things within the club to make the club as flashy as Legon Cities, probably.
I think definitely sponsors are going to come, because now I hear the GFA president is in Germany, you know, having some meetings with sponsors here and there.
Yeah,
so definitely, people are definitely going to come down to invest into sports here in Ghana.
We hope so, and we hope it comes quickly, because we need the money. Because the fact of the matter is that there's no government that is going to come that is going to invest in sports in the way that sports needs to be invested. Because if you think about it, one stadium, a decent stadium, you're looking at a minimum of $100 million.
Yeah.
How many stadiums can you build in a country where people do not have schools to take their children to, they do not have hospitals, people are dying, you know, so you can't make it a priority. So we need to find ways of getting private investments to you know, fill these gaps. But then again, which private investor is going to invest in something which doesn't have its house in order? You know, so it's up to the clubs and the regulator, the GFA, to put structures in place, clean up their houses, and get that investor confidence, so that people, when they put in their money, they know that they're investing it in something worthwhile.
Something good. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So you think the current administration of GFA is going to do a good job and then do their best to make?
They should. Actually, I'm actually impressed with the Bring Back the Love campaign. They seem to be proactive in getting, you know, the what's it called, the deals.
Yeah, lots of deals.
The what's it called, the broadcasting deal.
With
you know,
Star Times.
Yes, with Star Times, and which to me was a bit of a surprise, but it is what it is.
So you were thinking that GBC should have gotten it?
I would have hoped that GBC got it, but then again, they also have their reasons. They did their due diligence. They actually got the proposals and studied it. So I would want to believe that it is in the best interest of the country, in the best interest of Ghana football, that they chose Star Times over all the other bids.
Yeah, so in 5 years, Star Times will do what is expected of them.
We hope so.
We hope so. Now let's go straight to CK Akono's appointment. I mean, your view. What do you think? The appointment of CK Akono as the head coach for the Black Stars?
Okay, well, me personally, I'm not a technical guy. I'm just a fan, and I'm just someone who does like the business of sports. But from a technical point of view, I think that maybe CK Akono does not have the requisite experience. But then again, that shouldn't go against him, because I'm a Barca fan, and Pep Guardiola had no experience. He had just 1 year's experience with the B team in the 4th tier of Spanish football before making the step up, and we all saw what he did. And to be fair to him, he's done really well with Kotoko.
Hearts of Oak, Dreams FC.
And I think he even won a league title with Ashanti Gold.
Yes, Ashanti Gold, yes, he's been with
Ashanti.
So about 4 or 5 local teams he's coached them.
I think 11 Wise or Hazak is one of, I think it was 11 Wise.
11 Wise.
Yeah, so...
FC. And then he was also shortlisted for the Guinea national team.
Yeah, so,
then,
you know,
I mean,
and
when he lost it, they still wanted him to be the assistant coach till the appointment was terminated.
Exactly. So he has, I think, you know, I think we should just support him, regardless of whether he has the experience or not. Right now, he's the man in charge. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no point in sacking him, because, I mean, he's going to be there, whether we like it or not. So we just need to support him. And who knows? You never know. We always keep on saying that all our Cup of Nations were won under local coaches. So he might be the one to take us back to the promised land.
Here we hear that Kwesi Appiah comes out to say that before he took the job, he consulted him.
Yeah, because he was his assistant for a few months before the technical team was dissolved, and then they brought him. So I think, you know, in order, out of respect, out of, you know, not making sure there's no animosity, making sure that, you know, he doesn't want it to look like, oh, I knew what was going on all along, and, you know, but I still, you know, he just went to him and asked for his opinion, which I think is a good thing, which shows some level of brotherliness between them, which I think is good for...
So definitely when he needs some assistance, he could fall on his shoulders and he would definitely advise what should be there, because he has coached Black Stars for quite a long period.
Yeah, probably, I think about 6 or 7 years.
Since he came into office, how do you see him? I mean, since he's
honestly,
office,
I haven't seen much, because there hasn't been much national team activity. I think he went for the draw, the World Cup qualification draw. I think it was in Cairo, and yeah. But apart from that, I haven't really seen much. But then again, I think we have some games coming up in March. So let's see what he does between now and then. Let's see how he takes the qualifiers. From where I sit, our biggest threat in the qualifiers for this round of qualification is South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
And I think we played a friendly against them. Was it a friendly?
Yeah, it's a friendly.
No, I know we played against them. Or was it World Cup qualifier? Oh? Yeah,
no, friendly. We've played a friendly
with them recently, not too long ago.
Not too long ago.
Anyway, I've gotten things mixed up. Yeah, but you know, so let's see how he does against them in the qualifiers. Okay. And then, once we clear that hurdle.
But what kind of shake do you think our team needs so that we could qualify for?
I think it's a mix of both the youth and experience. Fine. Right now, Asamoah Gyan is a bit old, and
a bit old old.
Okay, he's old. In football terms, he's old.
Football.
In football terms, he's old. But Asamoah Gyan has done his bit. I think that we should learn not to rely on him too much, because very often he has been our savior, whether we like it or not. I think that we haven't had a better striker in this country than Asamoah Gyan. The numbers are there to show. But it's time for us to move on from the Asamoah Gyan reliant era and move on to these new guys that are coming up.
Okay.
Mohamed Kudus, Salisu, Baba.
Are you thinking we should do lots of local players?
They should get there on merit.
Okay.
I think they should get there on merit. I don't believe in, there having to be a local player. If a local player is performing better than a player
foreign
playing for Mallorca or Celta Vigo or Ado Den Haag or wherever they're playing, then he should be there. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Not because we shouldn't choose players because they play for. Last season, Kevin Prince Boateng was playing for Barcelona. He hasn't played for Ghana in a long time. I know, but you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that.
So do you think that Sika Akono should look at maybe bringing Kevin Prince Boateng, and then Sule Muntari was also earlier on he apologized and wanted to come back. Do you think they should be considered, looking at the experience?
They should be considered. Being considered is different from being picked.
Okay.
Everybody should be considered. Once you're playing active football, you should be considered. But as to whether you make the cut is a totally different thing. But yeah, if it's about consideration, even Asamoah Gyan should be considered.
Okay.
I just believe that we should learn not to depend too much on Asamoah Gyan anymore, because
but maybe
when he's not there,
we can pick him.
Yeah, we can pick him.
Maybe we can pick him. We can pick Sule Muntari. We can pick KP.
Well, depending on how others elsewhere are faring in their positions, yeah, why not? We should consider them. Everybody should be considered, if you ask me.
Okay, but you can say that some of them should be picked. But as Asamoah Gyan, you can say maybe he should be picked.
Well, if there are strikers outside performing, or even here in Ghana performing better than him, their form, then
they're doing well. They should be picked.
They should be picked over Asamoah Gyan on any day.
Right. So the next week 7, we have Asante Kotoko. After they won Hearts, they are meeting Liberty. What do you think? Before we go, what do you think about that match?
It's an exciting game, because
do you think
Liberty
Kotoko has the potential to win that game again?
Oh, Kotoko is a big club. Kotoko is always going to be a title contender. I think before the game yesterday, they were in 7th place. I don't know exactly where they are now, but Kotoko is a big club, and they should always be. And I believe they'll be at home, even though it will be behind closed doors. But yeah, they should be the favorites, because even Liberty, I think only won their first away game last week or something. So yeah, but
anybody could win. Liberty could win. Asante could win, because this game, this league is actually unpredictable.
Yeah. We have Adriana Stars and Bricum Chelsea on top. And the league is exciting. I actually
and
like
Kotoko is coming gradually. After
we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see.
They're
not as good as Accra Great Olympics, but yeah.
Maybe that's what you're saying. But let's look at the football administration in the country, and then we come to Center 14, sports and management, football administration in the country. Briefly, 1 minute. What do you think? What do you think should be put in place?
Well, there's a new administration in place.
So suggest something to the new administration in place, because you are an expert.
Oh, well.
Football administration. Yes, MBA in football administration. So.
Sports management, yeah.
Sports management, sorry.
But, well, to me, when it comes to, there should be an emphasis on also education.
Okay.
We need to make sure that our coaches, and I think they've started on a good note over there, because not too long after they came, they had a coaches forum, I think, in Pram, and all that. But there should be, and we need like more people with like sports administration backgrounds coming up with suggestions for the running of football. I'm impressed with the way they have gone about setting up committees, and it seems like they have very competent people in charge of these committees. So as it stands now, I guess things are on course. If they're able to keep it up, will be up for discussion on another day. But I think so far it's been good.
So let's talk of Center 14 Sports and Entertainment.
Yes, Center 14 Sports and Entertainment. Basically, when I was doing my MBA in Spain, I came up with an idea to, come back home and then do what we can to match, to make our sports competitive. We have an abundance of talents, not just in football, but in other sports as well. But it seems that our achievements do not match the talent we have. So we need to come back. I wanted to come back and play my part in doing what we can to make us more competitive. There's a lot of financial constraints.
Exactly.
So I wanted to find ways of raising money to help sports. And then also when it comes to the sports people themselves, because sports is no longer just about sports. It's not enough to just have the talent, but you need to have the mentality. You need to have
you need to be groomed.
You need to be groomed. That's the word. Thank you. You need to be groomed. And also, I don't understand why for all the superstars we've had, we don't have like world icons like David Beckham. David Beckham was a good footballer. Let's not. But he wasn't the greatest, But he made a lot of money off endorsement deals, and these are ways by which we could take people aside the sports and what it gives them. We can take people, families, communities out of poverty.
Yeah.
People think sports is just recreation. It's a waste of time,
but it isn't.
No, it is not. There's huge money to be made from sports, and lives can turn around, can change in an instant through sports. So I think it's time that we take things seriously. I embark on campaigns where I try to get people to get involved in sports, and so my partner and I, who I set up Center 14 with Coleman, these are some of the things that we are doing, and we hope that with time it yields fruits and we'll be able to become competitive, and we start winning laurels. We get our sports people to start winning laurels for Ghana, and to put us back on the sporting map.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have you again so that we talk about Center 14 and some of the activities that over the years since you set up, you have been embarking on, and then look at the future prospect of event with Center 14 Sports and Entertainment. Then we also look at the other sports and disciplines in the country. Because it shouldn't always be about football.
No. Football is number one. Football will always remain at the top, but there has to be some attention on other sports as well. Basketball is coming up. City is doing an amazing job with basketball, taekwondo, tennis. There's a lot of things.
So we're definitely going to have you again, but for now we say a very big thank you to you.
Thank you for having
Willem Coleman, for joining us in the studio this morning so that we can discuss some of the things happening in our world of sports. We go for a quick break, we come back, and we activate the phone lines for a few minutes and say goodbye. We'll be back shortly.